If you ever disrespect me in this house again, I will send you back to that village you came from in disgrace." Mama Biodun's voice cut through the evening air like a sharp knife. Her daughter-in-law, Folake, was on her knees in the middle of the compound, her hands trembling as she tried to gather the pieces of the clay pot she had accidentally broken. The other women in the compound quickly looked away, pretending to be busy with their own evening chores. But everyone was listening. Everyone always listened when Mama Biodun spoke. "I am sorry, Mama," Folake whispered, her voice barely audible. "It was an accident I did not see." "You did not see?" Mama Biodun stepped closer, her wrapper tied high and tight around her waist, her arms folded across her chest. "You did not see a whole pot standing in the middle of the kitchen? Or is it that your village eyes are too small to see properly?" The insult hung in the air. Two younger children playing near the wall stopped their game and stared. Falake's eyes filled with tears, but she did not dare look up. "Get up from there," Mama Biodun said coldly, "and clean this mess before my son comes home. I don't want him to see what kind of careless wife he married." Folake nodded quickly, gathered the broken pieces with shaking hands, and hurried away toward the back of the house. Mama Biodun watched her go, then turned and walked back into her own room, her head held high. In the entire community of Ajo Estate, there was no woman more admired than Mama Biodun. She was 55 years old, but people still called her the most beautiful woman in the neighborhood. Her skin was smooth and dark like polished ebony. Her eyes were large and bright. Her cheekbones were high and sharp, and when she smiled, which was rare, it was like the sun breaking through clouds. She carried herself like royalty. She wore the finest Ankara and lace. Her jewel was always tied perfectly, standing tall and proud on her head. When she walked to the market, people greeted her with deep respect. When she entered the church, the ushers rushed to give her the best seat. "That woman is blessed," the older women would say. "See how God has favored her, beauty, wealth, and respect. What more can a woman ask for?" But those who lived close to Mama Biodun knew a different story. They knew that inside the four walls of her compound, beauty was a mask. And behind that mask was a woman whose pride had no limits. Mama Biodun's late husband had been a successful businessman. He left her 2 houses, a shop in the market, and enough money to live comfortably for the rest of her life. She had 3 sons. The first 2 had married and moved to other parts of Lagos with their wives, but her last son, Biodun, still lived with her. He was 28 years old, quiet and respectful, and he worked as an accountant in a small firm in Aikja. He was a good son. He gave his mother money every month. He never argued with her. He obeyed her in everything. When Biodun told his mother he wanted to marry Folake, Mama Biodun had smiled and welcomed the girl. But that smile lasted only as long as the introduction ceremony. The moment the guests left and Folake moved into the house, the smile disappeared like smoke. Folake was a simple girl from a small town in Ekiti State. She had finished secondary school but could not afford to go to university. She worked as a salesgirl in a shop where Biodun came to buy things for his office. He noticed her kindness, her respectful way of speaking, her gentle smile. He did not care that she was not educated like him. He did not care that her family was poor. He loved her, and he believed his mother would love her too. But Mama Biodun did not love her. From the very first morning, Folake woke up at 5 o'clock to sweep the compound, fetch water, and prepare breakfast. She cooked jollof rice, fried plantain, and made fresh orange juice. When she served Mama Biodun, she knelt and greeted her properly. "Good morning, Mama. I have prepared breakfast." Mama Biodun looked at the food and frowned. "What is this?" "Jollof rice, Mama." "Jollof rice?" Mama Biodun picked up the spoon, tasted it, and then dropped the spoon back on the plate with a loud clang. "This rice is too soft. It is like porridge. Did they not teach you how to cook in your village?" Folake swallowed hard. "I am sorry, Mama. I will do better tomorrow." "Tomorrow?" Mama Biodun pushed the plate away. "I cannot eat this. Take it away. And next time, if you want to cook in my house, learn how to cook properly first." Folake carried the food back to the kitchen, her hands shaking. She sat on a small stool and stared at the plate. The rice was not too soft. She had cooked it the same way her mother taught her, but she said nothing. She simply scraped the food into a bowl, covered it, and began preparing something else. That evening, when Biodun came home from work, his mother called him into her room. "My son," she said, her voice soft and sweet. "Sit down, I want to talk to you." Biodun sat on the edge of the bed, looking concerned. "Mama, what is it? Are you not feeling well?" "I am fine," Mama Biodun said, "but I am worried about you." "Worried? Why?" Mama Biodun sighed deeply. "This girl you married, Folake, I am trying my best to accept her. But my son, she does not know anything. She cannot cook. She cannot clean properly. This morning, she gave me rice that was like porridge. How can I eat such food? What kind of training did her mother give her?" Biodun frowned. "Mama, Folake is a good cook. I have eaten her food many times before we got married. Maybe she was just nervous." "Nervous?" Mama Biodun interrupted. "My son, I am not a wicked woman. I am only thinking of your future. You are an accountant. You are a professional. You need a wife who can match your level, not a village girl who cannot even cook rice properly." Biodun looked down at his hands. "Mama, I love her. She is respectful. She is kind. She will learn." "Learn?" Mama Biodun's voice hardened. "At her age, she should already know. But I will not say more. You are my son. I will not interfere in your marriage. I only pray that God will open your eyes before it is too late." Biodun left his mother's room feeling confused and guilty. That night, when he lay beside Folake, he did not tell her what his mother had said. He simply held her hand and whispered, "Don't worry, everything will be fine." But everything was not fine. Every day, Mama Biodun found something to criticize. The soup was too salty, the floor was not swept well, Falake's dress was too tight, her voice was too low when she greeted visitors. She walked too slowly. She woke up too late. Nothing Folake did was ever good enough. One Sunday morning, the family went to church together. Folake wore a simple blue dress and a small scarf on her head. She thought she looked decent, but as they were walking out of the compound, Mama Biodun stopped and stared at her. "Is that what you are wearing to church?" Mama Biodun asked. Folake looked down at her dress, confused. "Yes, Mama, is something wrong?" "Something wrong?" Mama Biodun laughed, but there was no humor in it. "You look like a house help. Do you want people to think my son married a poor girl who has nothing to wear? Go back inside and change into something better." "But Mama, we will be late." "I said go and change." Folake rushed back inside, her face burning with shame. She changed into another dress, but by the time she came out, Mama Biodun simply shook her head and walked ahead without saying a word. In church, Mama Biodun sat in the front row as usual, smiling and greeting people warmly. But Folake sat 3 rows behind, feeling small and invisible. After church, some of the women gathered outside to talk. One of them, Sister Bimp, saw Folake standing alone and came over to greet her. "My dear, how are you? You are Biodun's wife, Abby." "Yes, Ma," Folake said, forcing a smile. "You are welcome to our church. If you need anything, let me know. We are all one family here." Before Folake could respond, Mama Biodun appeared beside them. She smiled brightly at Sister Bimp. "Sister Bimp, good afternoon. How is your husband?" "He is fine, Mama Biodun. I was just greeting your daughter-in-law. She seems like a sweet girl." Mama Biodun's smile did not reach her eyes. "Yes, she is learning. You know these young girls of nowadays. They don't have proper home training like we did in our time. But I am teaching her small by small." Sister Bimp looked uncomfortable. Folake stared at the ground. Mama Biodun continued. "In fact, just this morning, I had to send her back to change her dress. She wanted to wear something that was not presentable, but thank God she listens to corrections." Sister Bimp nodded slowly and excused herself. As she walked away, Folake felt her chest tighten. The humiliation was too much, but she said nothing. She simply followed Mama Biodun back to the car, her head bowed. That night, Folake cried in the bathroom where no one could hear her. She cried for her mother, who lived far away in the village. She cried for the life she thought she would have when she married Biodun. She cried because she was tired, so tired of trying and failing. 3 months passed, then 6 months. The pattern continued. Mama Biodun's insults became sharper. Her criticisms became louder. And the worst part was that she did everything with a smile when Biodun was around. In front of her son, Mama Biodun was the perfect mother. She praised Folake, encouraged her, and spoke sweetly. But the moment Biodun left for work, the mask came off. One morning, Folake was washing clothes in the backyard when Mama Biodun came out and stood watching her. "You call that washing," Mama Biodun said. "Look at how you are scrubbing. My son's shirt will tear because of your careless hands." Folake paused, her hands still in the soapy water. "Mama, I am being careful." "Careful?" Mama Biodun stepped closer. "You don't even know how to wash clothes. What kind of woman are you? Every day I ask myself what my son saw in you, but I know the answer. You bewitched him. You used something to trap him. That is the only explanation." Falake's hands began to shake. "Mama, please. I have not done anything like that. I love your son. I only want to make him happy." "Happy?" Mama Biodun laughed bitterly. "How can you make him happy when you cannot even take care of his home? When you cannot cook, cannot clean, cannot do anything right? You are a failure, a complete failure." The words struck Folake like stones. She dropped the clothes into the basin and stood up slowly. "Mama," she said quietly, "I have tried my best. I wake up early. I work hard. I respect you. But nothing I do is ever enough. What more do you want from me?" Mama Biodun's eyes narrowed. "What I want is for my son to have a proper wife, not a village rat who knows nothing." That was the final straw. That evening, when Biodun came home, Folake was packing her things. "What are you doing?" Biodun asked, panic rising in his voice. "I am going back to my father's house," Folake said calmly. Tears streamed down her face, but her voice was steady. "I cannot stay here anymore. Your mother hates me. She insults me every day. She calls me names. She treats me like I am nothing. I have tried, Biodun. God knows I have tried, but I cannot continue like this." Biodun grabbed her hands. "Please, Folake, don't go. I will talk to her. I will make her understand." "You have been saying that for 6 months," Folake said. "But nothing changes. Your mother will never accept me, and I am tired of fighting a battle I cannot win." She pulled her hands away gently, picked up her small bag, and walked out of the room. Biodun followed her, begging, pleading, but she did not stop. She walked through the compound, past Mama Biodun's room, and out of the gate. Mama Biodun watched from her window. She did not call her back. She did not apologize. She simply turned away and went to bed. Biodun was heartbroken. He stopped eating. He stopped talking. He went to work and came home in silence. Mama Biodun told him it was for the best. "That girl was not good for you," she said. "God has removed her so that someone better can come into your life." But Biodun did not want someone better. He wanted Folake. 6 months passed. Mama Biodun began looking for another wife for her son. She asked the women in church. She asked her friends in the market. Finally, one of them introduced her to a girl named Chioma. Chioma was a nurse, educated and well-spoken. She came from a good family. Mama Biodun was pleased. "Now this is the kind of girl my son should marry," she told her friends. Biodun was not interested, but Mama Biodun insisted. "You cannot mourn that girl forever. Life must go on." Eventually, Biodun agreed to meet Chioma. They talked a few times. She seemed nice, respectful, and after months of loneliness, Biodun decided to give it a chance. The wedding was small. Chioma moved into the house, and for the first few weeks, everything seemed fine. She cooked well. She cleaned well. She spoke English properly. Mama Biodun was proud. But then the pattern repeated. Mama Biodun began to find faults. The soup was not thick enough. The room was not arranged properly. Chioma's tone was too sharp when she spoke. She wore too much makeup. She spent too much time watching television. "Just because you are a nurse does not mean you know everything," Mama Biodun told her one evening. Chioma, who was not as patient as Folake, responded firmly. "Mama, I have been respectful, but I will not allow you to talk to me anyhow. I am your son's wife, not your housemaid." Mama Biodun's face darkened. "Do you hear how this girl is talking to me? In my own house?" It is also my husband's house, Chioma said calmly. And I deserve respect too. Mama Biodun was furious. She called Biodun and told him his wife was disrespectful. But Biodun, still wounded from losing Folake, was too tired to take sides. Mama, please, he said. Can we just have peace in this house? But there was no peace. Chioma endured for 5 months. Then one morning, she packed her things and left without telling anyone. She sent Biodun a text message. Your mother is impossible. I am sorry, but I cannot live like this. Biodun sat on his bed, staring at the message, his heart heavy with familiar pain. The neighbors began to whisper. 2 wives in 1 year, what is happening in that house? But no one asked Mama Biodun directly. They were too afraid. Months passed. Biodun refused to marry again. He became distant, quiet, and sad. Mama Biodun began to feel the weight of the silence in the house, but her pride would not let her admit she was wrong. Then one day, Biodun's elder brother, Uncle Tund, came to visit from Abuja. He was a calm, thoughtful man, and he had always been close to Biodun. When he saw how his younger brother had changed, he knew something was wrong. Biodun, what is going on? Uncle Tund asked as they sat outside one evening. Biodun hesitated, then finally spoke. Brother, I don't know what to do anymore. Mama drove away both my wives, Folake, Chioma, both of them, and now I am alone. I am tired. I don't even want to get married again. Uncle Tund frowned. What do you mean she drove them away? What did she do? Biodun explained everything. The insults, the humiliation, the constant criticism. Uncle Tund listened quietly, his expression growing darker. When Biodun finished, Uncle Tund said, Wait here. He stood up and walked into the house. He found Mama Biodun in her room, sitting on her bed, reading her Bible. Good evening, Mama, Uncle Tund said. Tund, my son, come and sit. How was your journey? Mama, I did not come here to talk about my journey, Uncle Tund said. I came because I am worried about Biodun. Mama Biodun closed her Bible. What is wrong with him? Mama, you know what is wrong. You have chased away 2 of his wives, 2 good women, and now he is suffering. Mama Biodun's face hardened. Those girls were not good enough for him. I was only protecting my son. Protecting him? Uncle Tund's voice rose slightly. Mama, you were not protecting him. You were controlling him. You have been so proud, so used to people praising your beauty and respecting your name, that you forgot how to treat people with kindness. Mama Biodun stood up, offended. Tund, I am your mother. You will not talk to me like that. Mama, I love you, but I will speak the truth. You have used your beauty and your status like a weapon. You have looked down on people who you think are beneath you, and now your own son is suffering because of it. Mama Biodun opened her mouth to respond, but no words came. Uncle Tund turned and walked out, leaving her standing alone in the room. That night, Mama Biodun could not sleep. Uncle Tund's words kept echoing in her mind. You have used your beauty like a weapon. She got up and walked to the mirror in her room. She stared at her reflection. Yes, she was still beautiful. Yes, people still admired her. But what good was beauty if it brought pain to the people she loved? For the first time in her life, Mama Biodun saw herself clearly. She saw the pride, the cruelty, the loneliness that was beginning to surround her. The next morning, Mama Biodun did something she had never done before. She asked Biodun for Falake's phone number. Why, Mama? Biodun asked, surprised. Just give it to me, she said quietly. Biodun hesitated, then gave her the number. Mama Biodun called Folake that same day. Hello, Falake's voice was cautious. Folake, this is Mama Biodun. There was a long silence. Mama. Yes, my daughter. Please, I want to see you. Can you come to the house? Mama, I don't understand. Please, Mama Biodun's voice cracked. I need to talk to you. I need to apologize. 3 days later, Folake came to the house. She was nervous, her hands trembling as she walked through the gate. Mama Biodun was waiting for her in the parlor. Sit down, my daughter, Mama Biodun said softly. Folake sat on the edge of the chair, her eyes on the floor. Mama Biodun took a deep breath. Folake, I have wronged you. I treated you badly. I insulted you. I humiliated you. I made your life miserable in this house. And I did it because I was proud. I thought I knew what was best for my son. I thought you were not good enough. But I was wrong. You were a good wife. You were respectful. You worked hard. And I drove you away with my wickedness. Tears began to stream down Mama Biodun's face. I am so sorry, my daughter. Please forgive me. I know I don't deserve it, but I am begging you. Forgive this foolish old woman. Folake looked up, her own eyes filled with tears. Mama, I have been so proud of my beauty, Mama Biodun continued. People praise me everywhere I go, but I forgot that beauty is nothing if the heart is ugly. I forgot that respect must be earned with kindness, not fear. She reached out and took Falake's hand. You are a good woman, Folake. My son loves you. And if you can find it in your heart to forgive me, I promise you, I will never treat you that way again. Folake wept openly now. She had carried the pain for so long, and hearing those words felt like a heavy burden lifting from her chest. Mama, she said through her tears, I forgive you. Mama Biodun pulled her into an embrace, and both women cried together. In the following weeks, something beautiful began to happen. Folake moved back into the house. Mama Biodun helped her cook. They laughed together. They talked. Mama Biodun told her stories about Biodun when he was a child. She taught Folake how to tie gel properly. She treated her with warmth and respect. Biodun watched in amazement as his mother transformed before his eyes. The coldness was gone. The criticism was gone. In its place was kindness, humility, and love. The neighbors noticed too. What happened to Mama Biodun? They whispered. She is like a different person. One Sunday, Mama Biodun stood up in church during testimony time. I want to thank God, she said, her voice shaking. For many years, I have been a proud woman. I thought my beauty made me better than others. I thought my status gave me the right to look down on people. But God has humbled me. He showed me that true beauty is not in the face. It is in the heart. I thank him for my daughter-in-law, Folake, who forgave me even when I did not deserve it. And I pray that God will help me to remain humble for the rest of my life. The church was silent. Then slowly, people began to clap. Not because Mama Biodun looked beautiful that day, but because for the first time, they saw something beautiful inside her. Months later, the compound was filled with laughter again. Folake and Mama Biodun cooked together, ate together, and prayed together. Biodun came home every evening to a peaceful house. And when Folake became pregnant, Mama Biodun was the first to cry tears of joy. Everyone had admired Mama Biodun's beauty for years. They praised her face, her skin, her elegance. But it was only when she looked into the mirror of her own heart, reflected in the pain she caused and the forgiveness she received, that the mirror told a truly beautiful story. A story not of outward beauty, but of transformation. Not of pride, but of humility. Not of control, but of love. If this story has touched your heart, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Remember, beauty fades, but character lasts forever. Treat people with kindness, humility, and respect because karma is patient, but it always comes. May God give us all the grace to be humble, to forgive, and to love one another as He has loved us. Thank you for listening, and may peace and joy fill your homes.